Hey, what's up, party people? Welcome back to
What's
Fresh
up?
Goods. It's always good to see you guys here. And today, Nick, over there.
What's up?
What's up? Yewon, and myself, Jireh. We will be your hosts today. All right, so today, in this episode, we're going to be talking about moving in together, which is like a heavily spoken topic, I would say, normally, right? Like, whether you're a churchgoer or not, it's kind of a thing that people talk about.
Well, I guess moving together as a couple that is
There's
not
actually
married.
a question that one of you guys
Yes.
gave us.
Yes. So
Yeah.
moving in together, but not married.
Yeah, but not married.
Yeah, no covenant, so to speak.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it'll be an interesting topic because I guess like what Yewon mentioned just then, a couple of you guys actually brought it up to us when we did a poll and then you guys wanted to know what you guys wanted us to talk about. And this was actually one that we was like, oh yeah, that is pretty interesting because
Yeah.
having conversations with my non-Christian friends and people, it is a brought up thing. And we've seen also Christians doing that as well. And I'm just curious to see what everyone's like thoughts was on this because I think we are kind of on a similar plane, but I guess we can throw some stuff out there to see like, you know, what we really, really think about it.
Yep.
But I guess we can tell them like our answer is pretty much
Well, we'll just naturally go into it then. But yeah, the answer is no.
yeah. The answer is no.
All right,
yeah.
thanks for listening.
Yeah, all right,
Anyway,
that
see
is
you
it.
later.
See you later.
But then we'll talk about why, I guess, and why
Yeah.
I feel about that. I mean, this is not a judgment to anyone that disagrees. It's just more our
Just
thoughts
our
on
thoughts
our
and-
experiences
yeah.
of why I feel like it's a no.
You do.
Yeah.
You.
Well, I guess then I'll just start like context wise. I think for those that don't know, Yewon and I have been lucky enough to actually buy a place together recently. Yay, us.
Nice.
It's not a life that I recommend if you do not have enough money, because that's me right now. It's a struggle.
Yeah.
But it's a blessing, but also a struggle at the same time. And I think the context that people find out, then the next question that people ask is, so are you and
moving
Yewon
in
living together? And then,
Like,
our senior pastor and people actually get quite concerned, like, are you guys living together? And for you guys to know, we are not. Like, yes, we
That's
both
just a
own...
given. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Well,
I mean,
not
no,
necessarily.
not really.
Like, yeah.
We know people that have bought a place together that are living together that are not Christian. I mean, not married, but are Christian, And
Really?
it's, yes.
We do?
But we will not name and shame
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
We'll
offline,
talk
take
about
that
it
offline.
later. But I think for us, we are not. And the reason why is, well, because for us, we're not married,
Yeah.
Yes, we both own the place, and yes, like we always hang there, but it's only me that lives there at the moment. One does not, she just goes home, and yeah, the reason why we chose that is because I think for my personal reason, and I think this is the biggest one for all three of us, lust is a thing, man. Temptation
Oh.
is
Yeah.
a thing,
But you
and
cannot simply say, I'll
We just won't.
resist.
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
bro.
no.
That's
No.
the most
Get
ridiculous
outta
If
here.
thing.
you're a
Like-
boy and you like,
outta
if
here.
you're a boy, I do not believe you when you say I can just resist. Because think back
Yeah.
to your high school years.
That's
straight up
cap.
L. How many times have you told yourself I'll resist? It
Yeah.
would not. And I think that's the biggest reason why, right? Because in our belief, in our faith, premarital sex is not like a no-no. And I think that's the main reason of why I feel like I would say no in this context. Like, yeah, she still owns it, and Yewon runs her businesses through it. She's there all the time. We have people over there, and she pretty much just lives there, but she just doesn't sleep there.
I do not sleep there.
Because it's just hard. And yes, even in this situation, it's already hard enough. Sometimes we are both so cooked from a really long day and tired, you just want to take a nap. Even that itself is already hard.
So there has to be boundaries in place. I mean, we can go over that later,
Yeah.
but anyway.
And I think it's hard because, I mean, for us right now, like I get it now why people tell me, or my non-Christian friends tell me, like, it's actually a good thing for a couple to actually move in before they get married.
I get that
Because
now.
you also
Yeah.
get,
Yeah.
I never really understood it because
Yeah.
like, how different can this one
Yeah.
be? Oh my goodness, it is hard.
Oh my.
Let me just overshare a little bit, okay?
Yeah, go on.
This
go on,
one,
Go on. Okay.
not clean.
Wait, hang on a minute.
Oh,
Hang on
okay.
a minute. Let's not be attacking.
Oh, okay. My
know?
lovely girlfriend, not clean.
There you go, yeah.
Like people go, oh, I bet Yewon's the clean one and Nick is the hell dirty. Nope. Man, you can ask Yewon. I did not realize in my life that I am such a clean freak. I just cannot take mess when it comes to like the kitchen area. That in particular, like Yewon doesn't wipe like stains, like oil stains, like, and then even the plates were not fully washed and clean. I can feel the oil on it. It messes with me.
Okay.
I can't. And I realized that I'm really OCD. about like the way things should be cleaned or stacked and stuff.
Okay, you know when like your mum tells you go do the dishes and you've done the dishes, but then you're not doing it the way that she wants you to do it, and so she's just breathing behind your shoulder, and you can feel the breath marks, and you're just like questioning, am I doing this right? That's
not.
you.
You're not.
That is literally you.
Yeah.
I'm literally just washing dishes as I know how. And I am so convinced. I grew up with a Korean mother that is also a clean freak, okay? There is literally no oil residue, and you're looking at it with like a freaking glass eye or something, and there's like a tiny little speck of dust on it, and you're like, no, that's not clean. That's unsanitary.
Imagine if you ate that piece of dust and it goes in your body and grows and then you die. Viruses,
Anyway,
bacteria.
But I feel like it's not like a germ thing. Like I clean, but you're like the person that wants to clean right away. It's not that I don't clean. It's like, okay, for example, we were at a dinner party the other day that we were hosting, and in the middle of our conversation, this man got up to start cleaning. I feel like it's just host or dinner party rules that the host cleans up after everyone's left. But
you see,
he can't
because she doesn't
stay
stay there, who cleans?
No, I would have helped you clean.
Oh, yeah. It's actually slower that way. It's harder.
Okay, fine. Next time you can clean on your own.
There you go. See what I mean? So I get that now when people say like
it's
good
a learning
because you
curve.
know.
Like it's an
and then
actual
also
learning
the
curve.
other big thing I guess I don't really realize is that you see each other so much, so you don't actually get personal space to breathe.
Yeah.
Because we're not married yet. And that for me, the reason why it's taking so long is because, oh my God, the day that I have no more privacy and no more personal space freaks me out. And I'm experiencing right now, and she doesn't even live there. Like it's hard because
I feel like
going on dates and keeping it special is still a thing that we push for.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you see each other so much now. I get it. I get it sometimes why if you don't take your time to really date and know the other person, when you get married, you see couples just distance because they were just never prepped or they really didn't know each other enough. And that's why for me, I get it from the other point of view of like, this is why you move in before. Or you live together. Doesn't have to be buying a place, can be renting something. Like to really experience that, because then you really get to know. Like is she like mess everywhere in the bedroom or folding and cleaning? Like that kind of vibe. Like I would have never known any of that.
Yeah.
Till I witnessed it firsthand.
Like,
and she witnessed my stuff like firsthand as well.
Like you have to think about it like you are going into something and you are actually running a household that you live in simultaneously. Together, okay, not live in this instant, but you have to run it together. You have to go through, okay, who's cooking? Who's cleaning? On the nights that you're cooking, am I cleaning? Or on the nights that you're cooking, are you cleaning? And then on the nights that I'm cooking, I'm cleaning. Like there's so many like trivial little things. Like for example, on the shower screen, our shower screen is fully glass. This man's does not wipe the shower screen, but I'm so anal about that. Like, so it's just different things that like, that he would just not read my mind and I would not read his. And there's so many like little tiny arguments that we've had or bickerings that we've had that we would have never had that actually kind of snowball into other things, like the areas of like, oh, like, why don't you like appreciate the things that I do? It goes into that section, which turns into a relationship thing. Okay. And so now I understand like the whole, not just moving in together before like you get married thing, but like, how a lot of married couples like actually tell you like sometimes you'll just turn into roommates for a bit. I kind of also get it on that side as well, because you're running a household together, but you have to make time for each other, but you also have to do all these trivial tasks that actually take more time out of your day, kind of thing.
So yeah, but the answer's still no though.
Yeah, the answer is still no.
But Jireh, any thoughts on this?
Well, on that note, I just wanted to talk about just touch base with people that are currently living with their partner and are Christian. And I mean, look, everyone's journey is different, and like we're not saying that it's impossible. Like there probably are people that can do that, but we're talking. Well, we can't speak for them. We can't speak for you, but we can speak for ourselves. And going back to that point, lust is a big factor. And I guess, like, again, going back to what Nick was saying, I'm just reiterating because honestly, like, you've said everything that I have in mind. Because, like, we do agree, on this matter together. Like, all together, we agree that there's a no But again, it's like kind of like it's really on your it's up to you. Like everyone has a choice. It's not like we can't. You know, the Bible said, "Do not live with your partner." It didn't say that.
No.
But it's the reason why we put that in place is that boundaries there because of the lost thing, right? It's like what you said. When you get tired, you know, one thing leads to another. Next thing you know, you have a baby. You know,
yeah.
It can get that crazy. It does.
Then
you
you
know,
elope the next day.
exactly. And so, like, I think, yeah, for those people that can do it, like you can, like that's cool. Like, not there are people that can do it, that are capable
like,
of.
props to you.
I know for me, I cannot.
Exactly. It's just a preference for us. It's like
Correct.
nah.
Yeah. So we're not trying to diss you, okay? If you're doing that, like, please don't take offense to that. You know, we're just speaking out of our own opinions. I just feel like I don't want us to come across too strongly on that because
Yeah. Well,
it's
I mean,
not a hard, fast rule. It is actually more or less like I guess a man-made, church-made rule, right? But it's in place because it's to protect us protect couples from having premarital sex because we want to save that for marriage because that's special like that, So I mean that's all I wanted to comment on.
Yeah, no, sorry. It was a little passionate because that's what we're going through right now. And living through that, right?
Go ahead.
But it's hard. But I think it's the space thing because this is a big thing for Yewon and I. And I don't know whether you relate to this, but it's like I've grown up so used to having my schedule my way. When I want to hang out with people, I'll hang out with people. When I want to chill, I will chill. When I want to just isolate myself, I can do that. But then having a place together now, she's there. I can't have that as much as I want to. And I can't tell like, hey, can you leave today? So I can have it. It's like learning to adapt and share that has been a really big thing. And oh, sorry, you put your hand up.
Yeah, no, I just had a question for you.
Yeah.
I was just thinking like, what makes that more different than living with your family?
It's because your family doesn't. Well, my parents wouldn't bug me, right? You have your room you can go to
like
and
you have your own space. I feel like at home.
Yeah, but then when
you grow accustomed to like routines at home.
Yeah, but when it's your home, what if like your TV or your console is like in the living room? Then what? Because she wouldn't want it in your bedroom, whereas in your own room you can do that.
Okay,
and your partner is very different to your parents. Right?
Oh,
what if they need
so
your
deeply.
attention? What if they
So
need your
deeply.
support and stuff? And you're like,
So
oh
deeply.
my goodness, I just want to relax. It's for me. I feel like it's a huge difference to that because this is a person that you are choosing to be able to like to want a journey of your life with in the future, right? Whereas your parents, well, they birthed you, and you're kind of similar in a way on how you would live in a household. Certain things, the way you do things,
grew
the
up
way
like
you
that,
live.
yeah.
Like for example, right? If you guys share toilets with your siblings, it's like a wet towel, like a floor mat after you get out of the shower. Imagine if I like mine like not as wet, super dry, so I would wipe myself in the shower, which I do. But then if she was someone that steps out and cleans and then wipes and the whole floor gets wet, then what? That's the
That's an
stuff
ick of
where.
mine.
But
Like,
those are see.
like look, like at camps, it was the biggest thing. Like I would tell the boys, no soggy mats.
Yeah.
If I see a soggy mat, I'm gonna slap a boy.
Yeah, but I see a lot. I feel like with families, you will all pick up similar habits,
Yeah.
and so it's naturally not easier, but you would certain things that are important to you will also be important to your family because that's where you learn it from.
Okay, valid. I hear
But
you.
when you go to someone else different, if they came from a totally different household, it's like what she's used to shoes in, I'm used to shoes out.
Right.
Like small stuff like that that will all build up, and then you are forced to have that conversation with your partner because you're like, well, what are we gonna do? Who's gonna compromise? How are we gonna find a middle ground?
Yeah.
It becomes tough,
Yeah.
and like, oh man, yeah, it's
I
hard.
feel like you're low-key describing me like as a pest. But let me just like, rule it out. Like we've already had this conversation, so none of this is shocking to me. But, yeah, Jara, you're excused.
Yeah.
But anyway.
No, it's not that. But I mean, that's just like my view. And then she'll probably have her views about me
for
too,
sure.
right?
But
like,
I think it'll like genuinely like maximize and magnetize all of the little mannerisms that you have that you didn't know was so important to you. Like very, very important to you. Like, for example, you have so many little things that are so like, it must be then and it must be this way. Because you're a man of habit and you're a man of systems. And I'm more of like doesn't matter how it's done, as long as it's done, cool kind of person. So I feel like I drive you up the wall because I'm so laid back. and you drive me up the wall because you're such a
I'm a
nah, do
Nazi.
it now
Yeah.
kind of person.
Yeah.
But we'll learn.
But okay, but the question I have is this, right? So
Yeah.
for the people like that are for moving in together,
Yeah.
the question then I'll ask you is like, do you think that us having this opportunity now has actually grown us to be a stronger couple than if we didn't have this place than we would be, you reckon?
To be honest, I was thinking about this morning because I was thinking
Wow.
about like
I was thinking about nothing, I was so tired.
I know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was thinking like, what if one of our youth asked me like later on, hey, like, you know, we're thinking of like, I've been in like a relationship for 3 years, like it's going good. Like we're thinking about getting married. We're thinking about like, oh, like the whole finances thing, like because, you know, the economy, la, la, la. Do you think it's a good idea for us to buy a house together to kind of stay in it, but one of us will be the primary owner of liver of this household? Would it be a good idea? And honestly, my conclusion was like went both ways, but my conclusion was I think it is a good idea. I think before we did it, maybe perhaps I would have said, oh, maybe not. But I think the things that it has taught us, and honestly, it's not that I'm more okay with you being so systematic or being so like Nazi. It's just the fact that we have learnt to, you know, just do things your way or do things my way. Like we've just learnt to coexist together.
So does that mean that you would tell the youth, yes, it's okay to move in? With
No. As in, it's okay
so pretty much
to
to
buy
do
a
what we're
home.
doing.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
what we're doing. Like, because I genuinely think like let's say if we waited until we
But-
got married,
Yeah.
I would not have seen any of this coming. And I feel like at that point of our relationship, we would have gone through it fine. But I like that we have done it before we're getting married. And it's not taken away. I personally don't think it's taken away from like, you know, like the whimsicalness and the beauty and of the covenant marriage and
But
stuff
I think
that.
like in our situation it's very unique though, because
Yeah.
not everyone be in a position to be able to buy a place together, right?
No, for
because
sure.
we're talking about context of just moving in together. So then like what if you're renting? You know, is that the same thing or is that not? Because then renting would be very different. I would
That
probably
is
say no,
true.
right? Because you just rent a room then I wouldn't actually like live there with you. This is just
I
in
feel
the
like that's a bit
context of like
different.
buying a place.
Because
Because then the risk
both
goes
made that decision to actually join finances to do that
no,
together.
but it's also the risk of like what if it doesn't work out?
yeah,
then
for sure.
what,
You've got to
right?
be like very
It's so risky. There's
Yeah.
no guarantee because no matter how much we think we work and stuff, there's
Yeah.
always a risk.
hey,
that
a risk
we
is a
wouldn't.
risk. High
But
risk,
then
high
that's
reward.
where the whole thing would go,
Yeah.
and that's where it's like really tricky. I'm not saying that what we are doing right now is what every couple should do.
Nah, for sure.
But then it's just like you got to go your own way and figure out what it is, you know, what it is that you want to do, what position you're in, because you never know. Like I was having a conversation with a friend the other day. This is a little bit of a tangent where they were telling me like, for why spend so much money on a wedding ring, and then they were like, because you never know what's gonna happen in 10 years' time. Will you even still be together? Will you not be anymore? So why spend so much? Just do it because the memories you're going to hold and what you're going to have is just the things that you share together. So what's the point of that? You know, it's the only reasons because you want to show off to your friends, or it's a social thing and a societal thing.
It's a profession of love. I
Yeah,
think.
and it's a flex,
Yeah.
right, as the guy to be able to buy that. But then it's like, just the concept of that is like, yeah. And I think for us, the only reason why I did is because we already kind of know like, it's it for us, you know? And when we do this, it's not like the same as the covenant of a marriage thing, but it's more like, okay, we're committed to this and quitting is not an option for us. You know, like it's not that. Any issues come, we are pretty much saying like we are
drop
just fighting
everything,
for it.
We're
And I'm
sitting
not
down
saying that
talking
all
about
of you
it.
guys need to get to that stage, but
No.
that's just us. And where you feel like you are with your partner, that's for you to decide. But I guess going back to the question I asked you, it's like I think this has helped us grow better as a couple.
Oh, for sure.
And if it didn't, I actually think that like I think that we'll still be growing as a couple together.
yeah.
But I think when we got
But not
married
as
and
fast
this
as
stuff
this.
happening, oh, it's gonna be rough. And it has helped a lot. But yeah, that's just my thoughts
I'm just
on it.
thinking, right? Like to people that actually move in together for the first time after they get married, and then they have to go to do their jobs. They have to go and think about like, I don't know, let's say for example, they want to have babies right away. They have to think about baby making and like having a baby and running the household. I feel like there's so much to manage in the span of a year. or like even 2. Like I feel like that's so much to think about. Like let's say like you're having the baby, you got to think about baby stuff, then you got to think about how we running the household. Like there's so many things to think about that I feel like I would be overwhelmed.
Yeah. But I guess, but I don't know, that's just us. I guess, do you have anything else? Your thoughts?
Or like
I guess being in
questions?
in your, like right now with you and your partner, right? Like, do you feel that you know her really well already? Like, do you know a lot and do you think that you're in a place where you can or feel like if you did move in together, that you'll be like good and it'll work?
I think like I get what you guys are saying, like with the whole like, you know, you guys haven't really moved in together, but you're learning things about each other and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, I could say that I know her quite well and she knows me quite well, but not to the extent that say you guys know each other, obviously, because you know we're not sharing the same space like that. But I don't know. I feel like there's kind of like what's the word? There's something nice about going into it, you know, like, you know, after marriage and moving in together and like
There is
not
something
really
nice about that,
not knowing
yeah.
what to expect,
Yeah.
but knowing that we'll work through it together. And I think for me, I don't see that as a negative thing, whether like, you know, not knowing what to expect later on, because that's what life is. You never really know what's next or what's around the corner. You just have to do it and then find out and work through it, right? So for me, like, yeah, when I hear all those things and like the benefits of this and that, like I'm not shaken by that because I just know that, well, knowing her and knowing myself where we are right now, I'm confident to say that we'll work through it together. So, I mean, that sounds corny and cheesy.
No, but that's the strength.
even.
But that's the
But-
strength of like how deep your relationship is,
Yeah.
right?
And like you said, each to their own, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, for me to answer that question, that's how I would answer it. Yeah,
But
but yeah, I still
Because-
wouldn't move in with her right now just because I don't trust myself.
But like, because the other thing is this. Okay, this one I don't know how intense you want to go into, but I just remember being asked this. So then they were saying, like, obviously when you think of your partner, you're like, we're good. Everything's like really good. It runs really well. But then what happens if you don't move in, right? And you don't know how they are, and then when you move in them, you find out that this person, at its core, like when you hang out a lot, it's actually a very abusive person or really aggressive, angry, like, and because you're married and you're stuck and you're living there, it's like, then what? Where if you're living with them before, it will naturally come out more because you see them all the time and they're tired or they're angry or things like that. Where it could have been avoided. Someone actually asked me that and I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe that's a fair point. I wouldn't know.
Wait,
I actually
somebody
didn't.
asked you that about me?
No, not you. Just like,
Whoa.
this is before you. This is just like
Oh.
conversations with people that I've had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had
Gosh.
really intense conversations, but it was actually a really interesting one because, what if a lot of these situations could have been avoided by potentially
Simply just sharing
But
the
that-
same space. Yeah.
That's very interesting because it's kind of like, wow, you managed to keep all that hidden, being in a relationship for so long,
Yeah.
like who you are at home. I feel like what you do at home kind of reflects what you do outside in a sense,
No,
you know?
for sure.
Like little things you might pick up, like this person doesn't, I don't know, wipe their mouth. And you're like, well, that's poor hygiene, I don't know, for example. Let's just say. So obviously you would expect their living space at home to be fairly untidy. You know what I mean?
But
Like-
at the same time, like some people are just really good at hiding it. I mean, we all know
but that
friends
takes a lot of effort. Like,
but think
I respect
about, okay,
that.
It
we
does.
all know friends.
In a way, but-
we all know friends or a friend that have been in a situation, something similar where this person is like really good face front, hanging out, chats, everything's good. Next thing you know, this person was a psycho. After like someone
I
else
feel
read
like you
that
shouldn't
person out.
say psycho.
Okay, but like just a
Not
little
what
bit.
you expected.
Yeah, but because
Yeah,
some people are
that's
just really
nicer.
good at hiding that, right? And okay, come on, like it was crazy how everything unfolded. And come on, we all know this.
Do we?
No? You're
I
blank?
feel like I don't know.
I feel like we're not on the same
Yeah.
wavelength.
Okay, it was someone, like that. I don't want to give.
No,
this-
don't say
Ah.
here.
Yeah, come on. It's
We'll take
recent.
it offline.
It was
We'll
recent.
we'll
It was
take it
this
offline.
year.
That's
But
okay.
anyways,
Talk
it's
about it
just the
later.
context of where we all know a friend that was, being potentially into a relationship with this person, and then next thing you know, this was completely not what that person was.
Okay,
being confused.
I think they're confused and we're confused because you are going into an area of like honestly like borderline domestic violence because who they are outside was so superficial, and then when they were in the comfort of their own home,
It's-
the real self could
But
come
that's
out.
what it
Like,
is,
that's
right?
what you're
Because
talking
how many,
about.
like, if you really think about it, a lot of people in those cases when
Yeah.
they're moving in already or in a household, they would never see all those things like while they're dating until they were in that
I mean,
situation
who
living.
thinks their partner is going to
No,
be
exactly.
like that?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But what my point is to what Jar was saying is like some people are just really good at hiding it. you know,
I
and
mean,
you'll never know because you'll never
yeah.
push in that position at home until you're together to be able to. Yeah,
true,
so that's just my
yes.
thought. I still have no answer for that because it's hard.
I don't know. I'm a strong believer of what's done in the dark will find a way to shine. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like
But what
I
if
just
it-
feel like you can't hide it like that
Yeah.
hard. Like it'll come
It'll
out
come
eventually.
out, like,
But then what if that eventually is when you're already moved in and it's too late because you're married and
That's
all that
too
stuff?
bad.
well, I
then,
guess
I
you're gonna have
guess.
to find
No,
out the hard way.
But I guess that
then.
was my point, or the question that was asked.
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
a
I was
tough
like,
one.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
But
'cause
I
you
mean,
never
where I
really
stand
know.
on it, I just feel like even before that, you have to find something's a bit off. You know, like
you could not like be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that's fine.
But
Like,
you
know what I
also
mean?
see cases where some people are just so desperate for a relationship that you miss it because all you really want is to be married.
Well, I
I
guess
don't know.
that's a
I feel like
complete
people don't
different- But
truly
that- I mean,
miss
okay.
it. They just choose to ignore it, and then
Correct.
Yeah,
and then the
'Cause you think
repercussions
it'll be
come later
okay,
on.
you know. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a huge tangent. But I guess just to end it, I think. As you guys would know from the start, our answer is still no. No matter how beneficial or good it may be and seem, but our answer to this whole thing is probably still a no.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
think from a Christian context, it's too risky. You know, we were taught that why try to walk as close to the line of
Correct.
of sin,
Yeah.
because realistically
You
you
should
will
be-
always fall, or eventually
Yeah.
you would. You should actually be running away from
away.
the line,
Right.
and not putting yourself in a position where you might be able to sin or not.
100%.
And I think in this context, moving in would just open the door to so many stuff that is not right in from what the faith is and stuff and what we believe. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. If you guys got your thoughts or any questions, just ask it. I
Yeah.
hope it was
Be blatant.
beneficial to you. But if you disagree, let us know why as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually
Like,
curious to see
Want to know your thoughts?
if you're a believer and what you think and things like that as well. So
Yeah.
anyways, peace out guys. Stay fresh.
Stay
Stay
fresh.
fresh. Bye.